Two major flooding catastrophes in the span of a month have Canadian brokers inundated with phone calls from their clients. When the floodwaters recede, what is the overall impact on brokers? I'm David Gambro. Welcome to Insurance Business TV. Canada's largest insurer recently announced that it paid out $475 million for losses in Calgary and Toronto due to flooding in June and July. Brokers are talking about how these losses will affect the overall market and particular coverages in the future.
The recent flooding will serve as a wake-up call for a lot of commercial brokers to ensure their clients have sufficient coverage, not only for the headline catastrophe perils such as flood, but also the myriad of optional and often sublimited coverages such as debris removal, extra expense, and civil authority. I wouldn't be surprised if underwriters take a closer look at these exposures as well and ask more pointed questions on renewal to ensure that they understand the risk and are managing their limits that they assume moving forward. Of course, the obvious question is, how will this affect the pricing of insurance in the short and medium term?
Canada's insurers say severe weather is happening with increasing regularity, with 1 in 40-year events now happening once every 6 years. Seeing more flood events in Alberta, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan, Western Canadian brokers are calling for overland flood coverage in homeowner insurance policies. But some brokers aren't sure about that.
Really, in terms of just think about implementing residential flood insurance in Canada, and it would be a case of those that don't need it aren't going to pay for it, and those that do need it would not pay a king's ransom. So really a function of pricing, it just wouldn't work. So when thinking about residential flood insurance in Canada, David, I have to say that calls for some form of insurance program from the insurance marketplace, I don't see as being viable. And if you look at, for example, in Toronto, the last time that flood mapping was done was in 1980, and that's only in the process of being redone right now. So that doesn't even take into account the 407, for example. So in my view, I actually think this is less of an insurance question and almost more of a tax question. And then if we go back to capacity for water, if you will, or climate change consequences in relation to the insurance marketplace, really the question we should be asking ourselves, I think, is not is there more capacity, but will capacity be cut back?
It is too soon to tell what the ultimate impact of the flooding may be, but it has accelerated debate among brokers about the best way to prepare for flooding in the future. I'm David Gambro. Thank you for watching Insurance Business TV.